Okay, picture this. A speedboat flying across the water, full throttle. Now imagine that same speedboat slamming into a concrete wall. That jarring, sudden halt, well, that's pretty much what just happened to BoAt, one of India's biggest, most loved brands. So what on earth went wrong? Let's break it down.
I mean, for the last few years, you couldn't escape them, right? If you're in India, you know exactly what I'm talking about. BoAt just became part of the scenery, a part of our daily lives, and it felt like it happened overnight.
Just think about your day. You've probably seen those colorful headphones on someone in the metro this morning. Maybe a BoAt speaker is sitting on your colleague's desk right now. Your favorite cricketer is definitely wearing their logo. And of course, their co-founder, Aman Gupta, became a household name on Shark Tank India. See? They weren't just selling gadgets, they were selling this whole vibe.
So, the big question is, how did they get so huge so fast? Well, honestly, their timing was just perfect. They basically caught two gigantic waves during the pandemic. First, everyone started working from home, right? So the demand for cheap and cheerful headphones just skyrocketed. And second, we all got a bit more health conscious, so the market for budget smartwatches just exploded. And the result of riding those waves? Whoa, look at this growth. It was absolutely explosive. Between 2020 and 2023, their revenue jumped 5 times, from 700 crores to a staggering 3,400 crores. They even became the 5th largest wearable brand in the entire world, right up there with the big guys like Apple. Yeah, at their peak, they had grabbed more than a quarter of the whole Indian wearables market. Think about that. For a hot minute there, they were the undisputed kings. It really seemed like nothing could stop their momentum. But then, just as they were getting ready for a massive IPO, everything changed. The incredible momentum just vanished. That speedboat hit the wall. The music that was blasting on their speakers suddenly went silent. And this is where the story gets really interesting. Just look at the cold hard numbers. In financial year 24, for the very first time, their revenue actually dropped. Now, a 5% drop might not sound like a disaster, but for a company that's all about growth, any kind of decline is a huge red flag. And that ambitious 2,000 crore IPO, yeah, that was quietly put on hold with no new date in sight. So this is the real mystery, isn't it? How does a company that seemed totally invincible just hit a dead end? Well, the answer isn't just one thing. It's kind of like a perfect storm of a changing market and some pretty big flaws in their own game plan. So let's start with the single biggest factor. Us, the Indian customer. To put it simply, we've grown up. The same person who was super happy with a cool-looking, affordable pair of earphones a few years ago, well, now they're starting to demand more. That good enough product just isn't cutting it anymore. The whole conversation has shifted. It's not about the funky colors or the celebrity endorsements anymore. The new Indian buyer, people like you and me, we're looking for actual tech. We want features like active noise cancellation, better battery life, and products that feel like they're built to last. That initial vibe that BoAt was so good at selling, it's starting to feel a little empty. And this chart, wow, this chart tells the whole story. The budget smartwatch market, BoAt's home turf, it actually shrank by 1/3. But look at the premium market, it doubled. This shows that people weren't giving up on wearables, they were upgrading. They were willing to pay more to get better quality, a market where BoAt was basically invisible. And pretty soon the internet started filling up with stories like this one from Reddit. Complaints about bad build quality, non-existent customer service, and products that would just die a week after the warranty ran out became super common. The word was out. BoAt stuff looks cool, but it just doesn't last. Now, these quality problems weren't just bad luck. They were actually a symptom of a much deeper issue, a business model that was built for explosive growth, not for the long run. And this right here, this really gets to the heart of the problem. In 2022, BoAt was spending a massive chunk of its money, almost 30%, on marketing and ads. But on R&D, actually making the products better, less than 2%. They were investing in hype, not in innovation. This strategy, it left them completely vulnerable to something called commoditization. Basically, it means their secret sauce, cool design, low price, was so easy to copy that competitors like Noise, Bolt, and 100 others flooded the market with similar products. All of a sudden, what made BoAt special wasn't so special anymore. And this pushed them right into what's called the D2C trap. They had to spend a ton of money on ads just to get you to buy a product one time,
But because of all the quality issues, very few people, less than 30%, were coming back for a second purchase. And when your profit margins are as thin as paper, around 2.4%, you just can't build a healthy business like that.
And here's another thing. While the brand was waving the Make in India flag really high, the reality was a little different. Over 80% of their main components were still being brought in from China. The products were at best assembled in India, which created a bit of a disconnect between their patriotic marketing and the actual product. So, facing all of this, BoAt has a new game plan. They're trying to pivot, they want to escape the crowded budget market and start competing in the premium space. But let me tell you, this is a super, super risky move. Here's the problem. There's a huge mismatch. Everything BoAt is good at, mass appeal, trendy designs, low prices, is the exact opposite of what the premium market wants. The premium game is all about unique technology that comes from years of deep research and a software ecosystem that keeps you loyal. And they aren't just entering a new market. They're stepping into the ring with absolute giants. Apple, Samsung, Sony, JBL. These companies have spent decades and billions of dollars building their technology and earning customer trust. Trying to convince someone that your budget brand is suddenly premium is one of the hardest things to do in business. So, you see, the story of BoAt isn't just about one company's troubles. It's really a wake-up call for our entire startup ecosystem in India. As we, the customers, start demanding better quality, can our homegrown brands actually evolve? Can they move past just selling a cool vibe and start engineering real, world-class products that are built to last?
So, what do you think is next for BoAt? Are they going to peel off this massive pivot, or is their ship going to sink? We'd love to know what you think. Drop a comment below and let us know. Thanks for tuning into this explainer from @inside_businessworld.